Cake Masters magazine is one of the UK's leading cake decorating monthlies. It includes fabulous step-by-step cake tutorials, recipes, expert advice, competitions, interviews, design inspirations and so much more. You can order your 12-month subscription to Cake Masters magazine right here for just £35 and with free UK P&P. To order your 12-month subscription, either visit createandcraft.tv or call 09056 480 480 and quote the item number on your screen.
Hello and a very warm welcome. Welcome along to our second ever Cake Academy shows. This is your destination every Sunday at 5 p.m. if you're interested in cake decorating. It is fast becoming, if not already, the most popular craft across the United Kingdom, and globally cake decorating is massive. So if you are someone who's just joining us, maybe for the very first time, maybe you've heard the word on social networking, on Twitter, on Facebook, and you're thinking, oh, I don't normally tune into Create and Craft, but you know what? I like the idea of cake decorating. I'm going to give this a go. During the show, we're joined by a lovely lady. Christina is here, Christina Ludlam, and she's going to be giving us lots of demonstrations for you fairly soon. And more importantly than that, the hints and the tips to get the best out of your cake decorating. And through the show, of course, we'll be bringing you lots of fantastic products that we'll be using and demonstrating, which of course you can purchase if you choose to. Now, the way that that works is, as Christina does her demonstrations throughout the show, as what she's using changes, we will change the details on the screen to match what she's actually using. So you can actually make a little shopping list if you wanted to and find it all, of course, on our website or on the phones. So this is what we call an L, which is coming up on the screen now. Now, the most important thing is make sure that you get the item number right of what you're looking for, which is just there. The description of the product will be just underneath it as well. The all-important price will be underneath that. And then if you do choose to order, you can order in lots of ways, either on our phone number, which is just there, 09056 480 480, or you can also order on the website, which is, of course, free to order there, www.createandcraft.tv. So have a little notepad handy as we go through all the demonstrations. I won't be reading out the item numbers and the prices to you, but they will be on the screen. If you're interested in something, you can go ahead and order on the phones or indeed on the website. But of course, it's all about our guest and it's all about the hints and tips. So whatever you do, sit back, relax, have a cup of tea and enjoy the Cake Academy. So, yeah, great to have your company. I'm Dave Bradford and this is Christina Ludlam. Good to see you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
It's been a while, a few months, hasn't it?
Yeah, but it's lovely to be back.
Now, tell us a little bit about yourself. Obviously, you're a cake decorator, but what do you do on a regular day-to-day basis?
I'm actually a teacher. I run a sugarcraft school, Cakey Bakey Art, that's in Derbyshire,
right.
Where students come to me to learn, really, I always say to learn how not to do things as well, because it's so easy to sort of fall into those traps. And actually I started quite a long time ago, so all those mistakes that can be made, I've already made them and learned how to get myself out of them. Right. So that's pretty much quite a lot of what I teach.
Because I mean, if you've ever had an issue where maybe something's gone a little bit wrong, you don't quite know what's gone wrong or why, you can also email in if you've got any questions. Maybe you've had a bit of a disaster race recently, not quite sure exactly what made it go wrong. Email in studio@createandcraft.tv and hopefully we'll be able to answer that question. But it's going to be full of hints and tips, full of decorating ideas, but also, of course, the important equipment you need to get fantastic professional results. And can I also just at this point mention, if you're a fan of Wilton, we in the UK are the only place where you can get everything from Wilton's catalogue in one place. So that's all on the website as well, createandcraft.tv. But Wilton are distributing all of their items, every single thing that they produce, directly through us. Normally, if you find them in stores and so on, you get a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but everything from Wilton is supplied on our website, createandcraft.tv. OK, first things first then, Christina.
OK.
Preparation.
Well, I'm going to get into paste preparation. So, when we're using paste, so we tend to buy it as ready roll icing or fondant or sugar paste. In itself, it's fine to cover cakes with and that sort of thing. But when, you know, when gravity's on our side and we can sort of place it over the top of the cake and it will drape perfectly. When we're wanting something a little bit more from our paste, then we have to sort of add something to it. So we're going to add a strengthener. So I'm going to basically turn this fondant into modelling paste. Okay. So I'm going to add a strengthener. So I'm using Tylo.
Now, we touched on that last week. I don't know if you were watching last week's show. You can watch it back as well if you want to, but certainly Tylo we talked about. And this gives more strength to the paste.
Tylo is a food-grade thickener, so it's used in products like cottage cheese and there are a couple of other ice cream, making ice cream and that sort of thing. So Tylo, or Tylose powder or carboxymethyl cellulose, it's a man-made alternative to gum tragger cans. Now, gum tragger cans we can also use, but it does take take a while to activate.
I've never heard of that before.
No, well, gum tragger, again, is used in food preparation, but it's a natural product. It comes from the sap of a tree grown in the Middle East. Now, it takes a while to activate, so you'd have to add your powder. It's in powder form, just the same as the Tylo, but you'd have to add your gum tragger cans a good 6 or 8 hours before you need to use it.
With Tylo, it's
With Tylo,
instant,
it starts to activate immediately. I still like to leave it a good half an hour or so, but it does start to activate immediately. Now, although we've all got our own preference as to how much Tylo we'd add to our paste, I'm using 250 grams of sugar paste here, and I'm going to add half a level teaspoon of Tylo. That will start to activate, and as I say, it will be strong enough to start using straight away.
Does Tylo taste of anything?
It doesn't have a taste,
right.
No, and it doesn't have a smell either. I'm just going to take my glasses off. So
I know Rosie last week was saying that this is one of the absolute staples that a must-have in any
absolutely,
cake decorators.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, it's very economical. You know, you can buy modelling paste ready-made, and you know that's super. Particularly if you need it straight away, and you're wanting colours and that sort of thing.
So it actually activates with the sugar paste.
But it does, yes. It starts to activate as soon as it sort of hits the moisture, basically. And as I say, because it starts to activate straight away, you can start to work with it straight away. So there's none of that hanging around.
Now, also, the sugar paste we're using is the Renshaw sugar paste, which I know for so many people like yourself is the sugar paste of choice.
It's a traditional brand. I started back in 1988, and Renshaw's was sort of the only brand I would ever use right from back then. It was just it's a very, very good consistent product. I'm adding a little bit of colour now. Now, if you're going to add colour and treat your paste with your Tylo, do them both separately. It doesn't matter which one you do first, but do them separately. Otherwise, the colour will grab a hold of that dry powder, and you'll get sort of dark specks that start to thicken up straight away.
So you've kneaded in the Tylo
So I've
now.
kneaded it in just a little bit. I'm not going to add lots of this colour.
Is this the gel?
It is, yes, or a paste.
That is really intense, that
it
colour,
is,
isn't it? Compared to the supermarket stuff.
Yes, and of course, because the theme of today's show is baby, we want to keep everything fairly soft.
Actually, good point. I didn't mention that. Yeah, the whole theme of the actual
in case
show
you haven't
today
guessed.
is around the youngsters, the newborns, and so on, as you can probably see from the cakes that are around us here. So.
Now, do you see, when I'm adding colour, I explain to students, stretch and snap your paste, so you can start to pull it through straight away, first of all, and then knead it back together again. Otherwise, you find people tend to sort of... Are them cupcakes going to go flying? Can hear something rattling. People tend to sort of sit rolling it in their hands, and actually you're not really pulling that colour through. So far better to really get rough with it and pull that colour through. And you can see, I didn't actually squeeze any colour out. I just sort of cleaned the threads on the end of the...
It doesn't go streaky. It just blends beautifully.
And you end up with such a strong colour for such a small amount of paste, or small amount of colour paste.
And things like the colours and so on, and also the Renshaw sugar paste as well. You'll find all of that and details of that on our website as well, crankcraft.tv.
So there we've got our paste. Now, because we've added the Tylo will start to strengthen the paste, but it will actually speed up the drying process. So straight away that needs to go into an airtight bag. Now, one thing I didn't mention, and I didn't use, if you want to prevent getting colour on your hands, you can either use gloves, or you could actually put a little bit of white vegetable fat onto your hands, and that will act as a bit of a barrier cream.
Okay.
I had it there, I had the gloves there, I didn't use either, but there you go.
So don't do as I do, do as I say.
Yeah, exactly. You see, I told you, you'll learn how not to do things, and then just pop that into a bag. Squeeze out the air. I don't suggest people tying knots in bags and things, because then you're trapping the air inside.
I mean, if you're using that sugar paste straight away for a cake or whatever, but you don't use it all,
yes.
Is that a good way of storing? Just
it
putting it
is,
back in
yes,
the bag?
but then I would put it into an airtight container as well, and keep it somewhere cool, because these things have a habit of sort of coming open, especially if you put lots of different colours into bags and into a cupboard, and you're sort of rummaging around, you might sort of accidentally open one of them. So pop them in an airtight container as well. But I'm going to pop that to one side now, just so that it doesn't dry out, and I'm going to use some that I prepared earlier.
Fantastic. Okay, so that's the preparation, the key preparation for your sugar paste. One thing I want to mention as well, which I don't think we had last week, we've actually got a special offer on. You saw at the beginning of the show the Cake Masters magazine, the subscription's available on the website as well, but we've actually got a special offer on the first 3 months of this year. So January, February and March editions for just £5. They're normally £3.70 each. So that's on the website or on the phones as well if you'd like to invest in those. So you're getting really about over over £10 worth of magazines there for only a £5 note, so that's another thing that you may well want to consider going for today. Now, the shopping list of what we used in that first section then, of the preparing of your sugar paste, we used, of course, the Pro Gel colours. Now, these are not like ones you buy in the supermarket. These are incredibly intense. You use the tiniest amount, and they are there, item numbers there as well, and the Tylo powder as well, which not only Christina but also Rosie last week said, you know, that's an absolute staple must-have in your kitchen. If you're interested in cake decorating, Tylo is the way to go. We've also got the Renshaw sugar paste as well. You're watching Cake Academy. Good afternoon. Do remember, of course, you can series record this. This is something we've never been able to do until now here at Create and Craft, because it's going to be a dedicated go-to time every single week. You can, if you want to, just push series record on your Sky remote control, and then every single hour of the Cake Academy will be recorded there for posterity. You can dip into it as and when you need to. OK, so we're going to move on now to our first real project of the show, aren't we?
Yes, so I'm going to show you how to make these little baby shoes here. So just a little baby shoe. What I'm really excited about is the fact that we managed to get a free download onto the website.
OK.
So this is for the template. So if anybody at home wants to make these along with us, they can download this from the Cake Academy website, or the Cake Academy page of the Create and Craft website. And I've just printed this off. I've actually enlarged this one, really because I don't want to be working with anything too small on live TV. So I've enlarged this to 125%, and I've laminated it, and then I'm going to cut these out, and then I've got some wipeable templates here.
So that is there. If you'd like to download it, just go to the Cake Academy section of the website, createandcraft.tv, and you'll find it there to just print off. And this is what it makes. If I just reach over and grab it from you just for a second. Look how sweet this is. Apologies for the plaster on my finger, by the way. Delved into my wash bag and met my razor.
Oh, gosh. Lesson learned.
There you go. Isn't that cute? So sweet.
Or you could use a little bowl of water. I'm going to use the water spray just to make a little bit less mess. I want to wet the whole of the back of that ribbon. So I've wet it evenly, you know, I don't just want little bits of it wet. Run your hand down it and hope you don't have any food colouring on your fingers.
So the water will act as like a glue?
Yes, it will. And because I've added it... Now I need to see where I'm going with this. So I'll start here. Because I've added the water to the whole thing, you know, it will dry out evenly without any patches on there.
Well, sadly, we're nearly out of time again. This is another top tip from Christina. We will be having more shows, of course, every Sunday at 5 here on Create and Craft. It's your one-stop shop for cake decorating. Tell your friends, spread the word. Facebook them, tweet them, or whatever you want to do to them, and get them to tune in each and every Sunday at 5 o'clock. And you can watch this show back if you've just missed it, just got in and realised, oh no, it's the Cake Decorating Show. Go to createandcraft.tv. You can watch it back there for a whole month. Christina, we've had a ball. Thank you ever so much. It's been great fun.
And it smells lovely.
It does smell lovely. And we'll see you again soon, hopefully.
Yes, yeah.
And remember, anything that you want that you've seen demonstrated in the show is also on the website and on the phones. Enjoy your cake decorating. See you soon.
Cake Masters magazine is one of the UK's leading cake decorating monthlies. It includes fabulous step-by-step cake tutorials, recipes, expert advice, competitions, interviews, design inspirations, and so much more. You can order your 12-month subscription to Cake Masters magazine right here for just £35 and with free UK P&P. To order your 12-month subscription, either visit createandcraft.tv or call 09056